Alright, just the way I always start these things off with the red Porsche build, except it's going to be silver when I'm done with it. The 7th of March 2021, and this is the 1971 LS3 project I started about solidly about 2 months ago. So this is video number 3. This is Roger. Sun is out, beautiful weather here in Germany, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So the last video you saw me kind of like mocking up and showing where I got to cut and hack. So this time I've actually pushed it completely up in here, and again, company Renegade Hybrids has sent me all the parts down here, the cross member, but I did have to actually cut that thing, and I'll show you that in a video just a little bit later on. And what I've determined here is I could go forward about a ½ an inch, and that sounds like little minor crap, but I'm trying to get the axles right here perfectly aligned with the center right here. So that's the ultimate goal. But this, I mean, I'm off like maybe an inch, and then I'll just crawl up underneath here and show you what I've done. So those are those Renegade Hybrid cross members. So that's what they actually look when they're sitting up in here. I'll hold this still because I've actually been going to some of their videos, and Scott's been posting some great online stuff, so I can actually see where the stuff goes together. This right here, if you notice right here, I'm going to come back about ¼ inch right here and give that just a little bit more room back here to move in the back. And then the rest of the stuff fits nice and snug. I'll put the camera way up in here if you can see that. So the back bolt back there actually fits. I got a good ½ an inch back there. And obviously exhaust manifold. I'm probably going to come down here, wrap around, go over top of the axle and come back here. I just don't know exactly where I'm going to put my little short muffler. I want to get this thing as quiet as possible, which is going to be kind of hard with the limited space up in here. But anyway, there's the cross member. You can see it there. I moved all the way forward, and I did have to get myself a pan. In the oil pan video, you'll also see a little bit later on. It kind of helps if you read the instructions, because what I didn't know is the windage tray actually needs to be cut about 7 inches off the front right here, and this actually becomes your windage tray right here. That's how close it is. But as you can see now, I got plenty of space between Renegade Hybrid's cross member bar and this down here. Now I did lose about 1.5 quart of a transmission of oil, engine oil capacity, but that's not a big deal, so not worried about that. I also took my starter, flipped it around completely on the bottom. I thought that was a good idea because it kind of gets the heat from the solenoid, or heat from the exhaust not touching the solenoid, getting close to the solenoid, and I don't think it makes a difference. And then if you look back here, I've got my crank pickup, and you can easily access that without having to take off the starter. But anyway, so that's where we're at here, and a good thing that I've got actually 3 jacks. I've got a jack here, a jack over there, and then my last jack right back here. And again, all this stuff fits perfectly. Like I have to do a minor modification. It'll actually fit like this one, but I do have a solid 1.5 inches in the front of the motor, so I'm going to go ahead and try to retain the spacing that I have in the front and kind of like push it forward just a little bit. This is my throttle body. I don't think it's going to make a difference whether I mount it this way or this way, so it's going to go this way, and then I just got to do a little bit more cutting right up in here and pull that thing out of there. So that's the plan, and that's it for this one. I'm going to stop on this project. I'm going to go take the engine back out of it so I know where I can cut right now, and that's basically the final time I'll test fit the engine in there. And real quick, as a bonus feature today, the 36 Plymouth is going to get a fuel pump. I got this thing off of eBay. Pretty simple stuff. I just had to wait for someone racing for these little 1/8-inch NTPs to come in here, put some thread locker on that, and put it up in there, or some thread sealer. Interior should be back next week sometime, so that'll be put in here. And again, this is a running, driving, braking truck. I got my artillery wheels painted, sandblasted first, and then paint them, and then I put inner tubes and tires back on them, exactly what came off of it. I did a German conversion, so this is actually an H4 light assembly with an H3, which is a 6-volt bulb in it, and actually works perfectly fine. I took these suckers off and painted them orange on the inside with some special paint I got off the internet. And that's it, so this one's ready to go. I know this is not about the Dodge truck, the 36, but show you a little other stuff I'm working on at the same time. Right here, I got these lights, they're metal, and put them on. I have no idea where they came from, but it looks pretty sharp. And in Germany, you have to have an orange turn signal in the back. You can have a red one, but this thing's going to be registered with the Germans. And then somebody threw this away. A friend of mine said he found this up in the attic, but it's an aluminum suitcase. I'm going to take this right here and mount it in the back and put a couple of bolts to it so I got a little storage compartment. And then one more thing, going back to the 36 Plymouth. Oh, real quick while I drive by here, my 1950 bandsaw, variable speed by turning this, and I went ahead and welded a little brace for it so I can roll it around. Except I've got to get myself some heavy duty rollers down here off the internet. If you notice, that one right there took a crash when I rolled it one time, so I've got some heavy duty ones on the way again. Amazon.de or com. Now over here, these are all my pre-assembled parts. You've seen that in other videos. Another friend of mine, Ralph, actually went ahead and pressed in, not my roller bearings, but these are needle nose bearings in the back off of a Turbo 911. And so this is ready to go. So it spins nice and smooth. The axle comes through here, which again, Renegade Hybrids sells you these things right here. And they'll be slipped in, and these things go to some ungodly torque specifications. They also sold me the rear coilovers and the rest of the stuff. And this is all trash stuff right here, but I've learned from past experience, don't throw stuff away until you get it reassembled. And again, all my other stuff, these are my front 911 suspension. Those are my control arms. You saw this in the last video. These are new boots, and this is that turbo steering assembly. And I just got this loose right here, but all this stuff is new, and I'll be assembling all that in a couple of minutes or a couple of days. So this right here is where your spindles are at. It's all one piece from Porsche, so I'll put all that around. And I think that's about it from here. Air conditioning and the rest of the stuff. So this will be video number 3, and you'll see a couple of little outtakes on the back end of this one. Different oil pan because of the cross member. See how it rubs a little bit right there, a little bit of black paint. So I went ahead and got one from Holly. Drain the oil, take this out, and then do a couple of instructions over here. Just a second. So here's the new Holly. Like 326 bucks, man. It's kind of pricey, but basically I have no choice. So basically I'll put this one on, windage tray. I don't know why I need 3 or 4 pages of instructions, but I'll work through a different pickup. This right here, I know what to do with that. I got to actually put a fitting in here. That's my oil pressure gauge. It's going to go right there. And that's basically it. So this is from Holly, by the way. Wait a minute, let me show you. So put Holly right there. And of course, made in China. Everything's made in China nowadays, but frankly, I don't care. I'd rather buy American, but if Holly wants to make the extra buck on this thing, I'll pay another $50, $60 if I have to, but it's got to be made in the USA for me to do that. All right, take care, bye-bye. The actual old oil pan off a brand new LS motor. I am going to reuse the gasket right here. Just have to drill out these little rivet holes right here and just carefully put it back in there. A little bit of RTV right here, RTV right here. But again, this is the new Holly one. This is the old one right here. And there's some modifications that have to be made. It's pretty simple. Since this is really, really low profile right here, you've got to take the pickup, which goes along right here, and you've got to dimple. Well, actually, just not dimple, just cut the damn thing right there. See where that line is right there? And that's what I did by just placing it in there, measuring it. And then Holly actually gives you the exact instructions, exactly where you got to cut, and just bend it up just a little bit. And then you're supposed to spin it, make sure it doesn't touch the crankshaft. So anyway, that's it. What should have been an hour project is a solid 2 hours, but look, it's nice and warm out here. It's clean. I like it. Music is playing, and that's about it. So this is what that LS motor looks like way up in the air. Got the oil drained out of it. And again, nice, clean. No mud, no grease. And I'll put it back together. And there's the pickup right there. All right, so Good thing I got 3 jacks, because I've got one up here, one on the other side, hitting the 3 points, and now I'm actually just slowly doing my trick with the foot right here, because there's only one of me here, and just trying to get these last screws, but it looks like it's perfectly going up in there. Damn it. And again, this, oh man, look at that. That's perfectly aligned. And just slowly going up here, and hold on just a second. You can actually see this right here. That's actually my first try. And I'm trying to get that little bitty screw. Look at that. I really didn't even have to adjust this one. This one actually worked out pretty good. And this, everyone knows this trick right here with your foot. So it's coming up in here. I'm gonna go run and check the other side real quick. And that one's just a little bit off. Hold on. It's gotta come back just a little bit. Let's see if I can get this down in here. Push the car back, actually, or forward. The car goes forward a touch. There, look at that. Okay. And that should clear that angle right there. Come on, car. Okay, there. There we go. Okay. So, looks like that one's lined up now. You can see right up in there. And again, this is just a test fit. Like, see that little nub right there that's touching? So I can't go up any higher, so I got to push the engine forward just a little bit, not much. So we'll see. But right now it's basically fitting. If you notice those pieces right there, those are nice and tight up in there. I'm going to take off about 1/2 inch off the top of that, just to make sure I've got plenty of clearance right here. So I still got to drop the car down about 1.5 inches. I think that's the ride height's going to be, about maybe 2 inches. And that old panel still have a solid 7 to 8 inches of travel. So I'm actually glad I got the Holley low profile, because the standard one not only hit the bar up there, if you can see that, it also was about 1.5 inches lower, and that means I would have been literally about 4 inches from the ground, and I don't like that. Anyway, looking pretty good up in here. Got one little piece touching up there. There's the re-welded bung up in there, if you can see that. So it is kind of tight, but you know what? It's all going to work. Exhaust pipe's going to come out here, and I got all this room. I've got the space right up in here to put some kind of exhaust system on here. Well, it looks like it's going to be one pipe is all I'm going to have room for, unless I go down a little bit lower. But we'll see. I know it works because Renegade Hybrids has done it before. All right, man, that's it. Take care.